update you more on that because this is unprecedented, a global development that has taken place that has left a security analyst searching for explanation. Lebanon-based terror group Hezbollah has been hit in what appears to be a wave of sophisticated and coordinated serial pager explosions. Yes, over 2,700 people that are currently reported who were carrying pagers are said to have been injured, many of them grievously, as these pagers exploded almost at the same time. Some of these explosions that have even been caught on camera and heavily being circulated online. These blasts appear to be sufficient to cause injury in almost 200 cases, severe injuries that have also been reported. As what is now been coming across as 9 casualties, 9 people have lost their lives in these blasts, in these explosions that have taken place. Meanwhile, a Hezbollah leader who previously warned of the group's members not to carry cell phones, saying that they could be used by Israel to track their movements and carry out targeted strikes. That tells you a little bit about why these pagers were being used despite an out model which has been outdated for almost 2 decades that we talk about. Who uses pagers in these times? But even as a consequence of these explosions, Lebanon's health ministry has now called down on those people who own pagers to stay away when it comes to such kind of wireless devices, so that they cannot be harmed if there are future explosions reported.
عدد الجرحى حوالي 2750 جريح، عدد الشهداء 8 شهداء، عدد العمليات أو الحالات الحرجة هو فوق 200 حالة حرجة أو عمليات. صار لهلا متقدم فوق 150 وحدة دم، والمستشفيات اللي شاركت باستقبال الجرحى لهلا تقريبا بيوصلوا لحوالي 100 مستشفى.
So as we've been saying that when it comes to several of those videos that have been circulating online, because many of these explosions that have been caught on CCTV as well, be it at a supermarket, it seems like there are people here around, and here suddenly an explosion goes out, and here is a man who probably was carrying a pager in his pocket. He falls and he's been crying out for help. There are other people around there. They run for safety, trying to ascertain exactly what has happened. There you can see this explosion taking place. There is another video that has been captured here as well. Few people are seen around in a shop where the explosion happens, and the people then can be seen are running out of that shop. Doesn't exactly seem to be in a way understood exactly what exactly exploded, how did it happen, and almost simultaneously, in a way synchronized manner, such detonations was taking place. Let's in the meantime talk about when we say Hezbollah, which is a terror group which appears to have been the general target of these serious blasts, that issued a statement saying that they were examining the cause of these explosions. They referred to Israel as their enemy and stated that their readiness to defend their country, Lebanon, is also concerned, because subsequently there were other media reports citing Hezbollah officials who were accusing Israel directly over the attacks, of one of which who was also injured was an Iranian diplomat. Hezbollah, meanwhile, has vowed retaliation and revenge, but there is no official word from the Israeli military or the government yet. On the other hand, US Pentagon has spoken about it, denying America's any hand or any role in these explosions.
I don't have any details to provide on the reports of the pager blast. I can tell you, to my knowledge, there's no U.S. involvement in this at all. Again, it's something that we're monitoring.
Now, these multiple explosions that have taken place simultaneously at the same time in different parts of the country of Lebanon, some explosions that have also been reported in Syria, there are a number of unanswered questions that we take a look on how this operation was exactly managed. Why does Hezbollah has been using pagers in this time? Even when it comes to such kind of models that are outdated for almost 2 decades now, who weaponized Hezbollah's weapons? Or even when it comes to pagers that we are talking about, who exactly put explosives in it? How were the pagers rigged to blow at a certain time, and that too simultaneously? Explosions via physical tampering, or was it hacking, as someone had hacked when it comes to these wireless devices? Whose call was it to trigger the blast? Were there any other devices that has been similarly weaponized in a way that could also go off any minute? And why would the Iranian ambassador to Lebanon be near a pager? Who was exactly using a pager with the presence of the Iranian ambassador? Those are the series of unanswered questions that we are talking about. Something that has also led, when it comes to security experts, baffled, because there are defense analysts as well, geopolitical hawks who have been weighing in on what exactly has happened. Multiple reactions coming in, exactly what they believe to be theories that are now coming across, exactly what may have happened when these synchronized detonations took place.
The point is, that even Hezbollah is saying that Israel has done it. Possibility can't be denied. I take it that way, and it is happening at the time when the Israel desire is there to go physically on Lebanon. They have been, there are indications are there that they will enter, especially into the southern Lebanon, to clear that area, and probably what they have earlier occupied, they might do that, so that the people they feel that in northern Israel the people who have been left who have evacuated from there can go back to their places and settle down.
Iranian ambassador getting injured in Lebanon is a very interesting facet to this whole story. It goes to say that Iranians were involved in monitoring or micromanaging the terrorists of Hezbollah. Otherwise, there is no reason why such a pager should be available with the Iranian ambassador. So I personally feel, I get a feeling that these guys were totally involved and hands in glove with the Hezbollah terrorists, and this has been proved very well.
So that is how baffled when it comes to security experts are, exactly unable to explain what exactly would have led to these series of explosions, because we are also picking up when it comes to the company that was behind, when it comes to the manufacturers of these pagers that has been traced. It is a Taiwanese company called Gold Apollo. But Gold Apollo says that only the brand belongs to it. Rather, the pagers are manufactured in Hungary in a Budapest-based company called the BAC. We have Pradeep Datta joining us right now. Pradeep, this is a mystery because this is something that has never been seen before, never heard of, something like that carry out synchronized detonations. And how this operation was executed, this is something that has baffled many.
Yes, Amita, you're absolutely right. This seems to be a mystery wrapped inside a puzzle, and that's one of the reasons that the security agencies across the world, they're left scratching their foreheads trying to look for an explanation what really happened. But so far as this company, Gold Apollo, is concerned, this is a Taiwanese company. They have denied that they have not manufactured this product, but they had only allowed the other company based in Hungary to use their brand name. So it was basically manufactured by them. It was designed by them. It's a Hungary-based company called BAC KFT. They are the one who had manufactured this thing, because they had already signed an agreement of cooperation with them. This was not the only product. They had also been representing many of the products of Gold Apollo. But this time they wanted that they will be designing and manufacturing the pager also, which as per the agreement, they allowed them to do so. And this particular batch was meant for Syria as well as for Lebanon. And what really happened, that's a matter of investigation. But they have simply denied their role behind manufacturing this product. That's what the Gold Apollo has said. They had come out with a statement. But they have not given any detail about the KFT, BAC KFT company, that Hungary-based company, what kind of products they were manufacturing, when they exactly decided to manufacture this thing. So they have not divulged these details. But all they are trying to say that they had only allowed the company to use their brand name, so they were not behind this manufacturing. Because see, this can't be an accident, this is an attack. Why this is? Because using pager as a weapon to target your adversary and such a large scale has left everybody baffled, not only people in Lebanon, but also the security agencies across the world. And it's also a matter of concern for India, because already we had been buying so many cell phones from China. So the Chinese products are coming over to this place. There is every possibility there can be a cyber attack. To what extent the government of India is really working on that, that's also a million-dollar question.
Well, this is a new kind that is being witnessed by the world over, because as we said, this is something that has not been heard or seen before. There are several theories that have been floating around exactly how this operation was executed. Ankit, my colleague, is also joining us right now, because there are certain claims, Ankit, possibly when it comes to certain explosives that were put in and they were hidden near the batteries that could be remotely detonated. The pagers also appearing, that is another theory of receiving a message by the time it exploded. So there are many theories, Ankit, that are doing the round.
Most definitely. In fact, there are two specific theories, or actually broad theories. One is that there was a explosive material injected into the pagers when they were intercepted. The other is that it was the battery that was made to overheat, and that is what exploded. In any case, it appears to have been triggered by some kind of coded message. There is still a lot of investigation going on and a lot of theorizing also. But I just want to show you, Amita, this is the company Golden Apollo, of whose website we've opened up a search page essentially, and you can see the pager that is mentioned in reports also is AR-924. Now it is claimed that these are the pagers that exploded. I'm not sure if this is the image, and the reason I cannot tell you more is because this site has now been taken down. So I see the metadata here. It says rugged pager AR-924. What are its features? It's compact. It has 4-button operation with 2-way scrolling. It has a battery life of up to 85 days. With 2.5 hours for full battery charge. It also has USB-C charging. I mean, USB-C is a fairly recent trend, so they have taken a device that really went out of use for any regular purpose about 25 years ago, and it has been updated. But if I open this website, it is 403 error forbidden. So this website appears to have been taken down. Whether it was taken down after its devices were implicated in this wide-ranging counter-terror, it appears, operation, that is unknown. But Golden Apollo is the company in the spotlight. It has shifted the blame to a Hungarian manufacturer that only used its brand. And so that is where we stand at the moment. There is also a lot of commentary going on over this in international circles. Many are calling this the largest coordinated cyber attack of any sort in history, and certainly the only one that has led to these many explosions.
And there is still not a clear number as to how many pagers exactly have exploded, because what is now being suggested that over 2,700 people, that's still a lot of number of people who have been injured, many of them grievously injured, and 9 casualties till now that have been reported. Ankit, thank you very much. As multiple theories that have been doing the rounds, of course, security officials and defense analysts trying to grasp the situation and also talk about when it comes to Hezbollah's recent advisories, Pradeep, that had talked about or had asked to reduce the reliance on cell phones. They started to rely on pagers. Look what happened.
Yes, Amita, you're absolutely right. It was just a few months back, Hassan Nasrallah, who is the chief of Hezbollah, he had asked people, especially his cadre, not to use cell phone. He has asked them to dump cell phones, either bury them or keep somewhere in a trunk. Not to, but use, because they thought that the cell phones can be hacked. This will help Israel to track their movement, and they can be easily targeted. But they had no idea that low-tech instruments like pagers, which had been outdated for the last 2 decades, will prove fatal for them, because they had no idea that something of that sort can happen. As rightly Uncle was saying, because there are several theories. One of the theories that maybe the pagers are hacked. The another theory is that they had they had intercepted this consignment, they had put explosive material, used the switch, and then they had detonated this thing. Because in the past also, if you look at how the Haniyeh was targeted inside Iran, he was also killed by using the explosive device, and that time also it was detonated with the help of the remote. Then we know that in 2020, one of the Iranian nuclear scientists was also killed the same way. That time they had used a machine gun that was operated by a remote control. So keeping in view that track record, that's one of the reasons that all eyes are right now on Mossad agency. That's why the Lebanon feel that the Mossad is responsible for this attack. And the obvious reason, because in the recent past we have seen that how the Hezbollah had been off and on targeting Israeli location. And now the question arises what this Iranian ambassador had been doing with the pager. Obvious reason that Iran...
Well, no one yet has claimed responsibility, when it comes to statement on part of Israeli military or government. However, Hezbollah has been saying that they would be carrying out a scientific investigation, and thereafter they have squarely blamed Israel behind this and saying that they will avenge these attacks.